Greetings chess fans, original chess ninja Mark Bowen here. I'm interviewing the great Shane the Magician Matthews today. We want to get an idea of his chess career. First of all, Shane, welcome again to the Red Scorpion headquarters where you have won many a prize.
Yes, thanks.
How did he get the name the Magician?
Well, first I'll say who gave me the nickname the Magician. It was none other than one of the Jamaican Chess Federation's founding fathers, Mr. Frederick Cameron. He gave me that name after seeing me uncork a few surprises in a couple of games. Particularly the game where it seemed as if I was on the losing end, although it may not necessarily be so, it appeared that way. And so there came the name the Magician. I just caught on with the chess circle.
Great. I've been a fan of yours over the years, and you always seem to play a lot like the great Bobby Fischer to me. Did he influence your style of playing anyway?
Oh, very much so. He is not my chess idol at this moment, but what I could say is that as a junior, just coming after the Fischer era, this would have been in the early 80s, I found very much thrill and enlightenment in looking at some of his games. There were, of course, the great Russian players who I've also admired in Mikhail Tal. And of course, he had the nickname the Magician, of course, and he is the Magician. But in a schoolboys tournament, I should say an under-20 junior tournament, I captured first place, and there was none other than the prize of a book, My 60 Memorial Games, by Bobby Fischer. And of course, I went through that book, and the rest is history.
So you devoured that book and some of the style rubbed off somewhere?
Very much so. And my love for the Sicilian defense and the Kingsian defense at the time just took off like a rocket, yes.
I found it interesting that you mentioned Tal because I believe you got to see Tal in person.
I did, because shortly after my first chess tournament, and chess was of course a family game, and we played very much so in the mid-70s. But as my older brothers Caesar took part in a national event, Mr. Enos Grant told my dad, Sid and myself about a junior event. I played in that junior event, qualified for the national juniors, and just to go back to where, yes, I didn't meet Tal, but I was able to see him in person. I took off from there, and I did qualify and took part in the 1982 Chess Olympiad in Lucerne. And seeing all the great players at that time, of course, we know what happened with Bobby Fischer, who, though was not around chess. But yes, I got to see the great Victor Korchnoi, great Mikhail Tal, Anatoly Karpov, a young Garry Kasparov, and the likes, Lev Kolobaevsky, many of them, Boris Spassky, just to name a few.
I can just imagine the names that you have read about in the books and now it's coming to light. Were there any surprises there, like maybe somebody who was a hero because of how they acted and changed your mind, or vice versa?
No, not at all. In fact, the other way around. When I saw Mikhail Tal, back then we had longer time controls than we do now. And of course there was always adjournment. In fact, you could play a game in one day with 2 adjournments. And they had a rule for such analysis, and some citizens who wanted to display some bits. And I was a spectator of Tal analyzing someone else's game. not even from the Soviet team, and he was assisting them. And I was just in awe, just looking at this man puffing on his cigarette because he always had a cigarette in his hand. He had a slight deformity in one of his fingers, but he would just hold the cigarette, puff, and analyze with such great ease and charisma. It was just simply amazing.
And he was open to talk to anybody and share the ideas.
Oh yes. I just stood there and just watched. I knew it was way above my level, so I wouldn't dare to approach and say, what about this? No. Not at all. I wouldn't have this.
Expand on some of your other Olympiad experiences. Give us an idea of how it progressed. So you entered events, how did it?
Well, as I just mentioned, my first Olympiad was 1982 in Lucerne, Switzerland. That was my only second time traveling ever. And it was a great experience. As I mentioned, some of the great chess stars of the day I was able to see in person. And I was quite proud of my performance there as well because I was able to score, as for reserve, 6 points over 11. And thus setting the stage, being one of the first two Jamaicans to appear on the FIDE rating list. The other person was John Bowen. Both he and I scored, he scored 50%, I scored 6 out of 11, and we both came on the FIDE rating list at 22.05. So that set the stage for us to be for Jamaica to be on the FIDE rating list. I was able to attend the next 3 Olympiads following that. There was Lucerne, there was Greece, Thessaloniki, 1984. By that time, I was already ranked number 1 in Jamaica. And in fact, I was the national champion in 1984 and represented the country on board 1. There was also 1986 in Dubai. This was held in the United Arab Emirates, Dubai, and well, we all know the financial standings of that nation, and they basically paid our way. We were able to field an entire team, a big contingent. We had a men's team for reserves, women's team for reserves, team captains for both sides, and a delegate.
What was the team dynamic like back in that time?
Oh, very good. 1986, though my performance was not good overall, I will tell you something that I played board 1, he played board 2. He and I were, of course, head and shoulders above the rest of the guys. But we had good charisma. There was a little bit of friction. I won't call any names, but generally there was
good camaraderie and team spirit.
Yes. Wilfred and I, we had a very good rhythm. We roomed together, and we also had a regime where in the mornings we kind of got up late, went over to a gym. The hotel I stayed at went by the name of the Chicago Beach Hotel, and of course this was before Dubai had I would say the skyrocketed of skyrocketed and these huge buildings, but we went across, did our exercises, maybe for about 90 minutes, maybe close to 2 hours, and we did all sorts of things, weight training. He would go on the treadmill and walk, and he loved treadmill. There was also a sauna. So we did quite a bit, and we were doing that. And we were winning. By score, if I recall well, it could have been something like 4 out of 6 or 4.5 from 6 at that point. However, John Bowen, who was not the captain, John Bowen captain in that side. And he insisted that we start going to bed earlier, getting up and having breakfast, and studying chess.
So did that throw you off of your rhythm that you had now?
The regime that we had going, we had a good rhythm, and of course we were scoring points. It obviously threw up both our game for my age, because we were turning in the same performance after that. So it's very key to keep the rhythm. What works for you may not necessarily work for someone else. And it was showing good results. And we came back later, the 1918 Olympiad was once again in Thessaloniki, Greece. And we did well. And we set up a little different team strategy at that time. And I leave it for the historians. It was, on paper, I guess, the best result. In terms of our score, we had the highest score up to that point in the present system, where we had 14 rounds, and we just finished, would that be minus 27 points out of a possible, well, as I said, 14 rounds, 56. Yes.
And paint the atmosphere of an Olympiad for those who might not know what this is all about.
It's an eye-opener. A lot of our strong players who are very confident and so forth, it can be demoralizing when you go, because you are not faced with the kind of competition that you will get. And you can face tough competition back to back.
Continuously, so there's no break, there's no easy game.
You can get an easy game, sometimes when the team loses 4-0 and you expect to go down and you expect to play an easy team. It is not necessarily so. You could have floated up so high, and that has happened, and then you still lose badly. The team, that is not just you individually, because it is a team event. And it is an eye-opener when they go up and see what's going on, and they could be playing a much lower rated player, and we want to realize that, hey, these guys are no walk over.
And at an Olympiad, I believe at one time FIFA was the only sporting organization with more nations involved than chess. So I mean, you'd be seeing a huge amount of other countries.
Yes, the sport has grown. I'm not using the term sport loosely. We know how chess is indeed a sport, and it is actually even more than a sport. But we won't get into that. I think if you're watching this video, you are more than aware that it's more than a sport. But yes, the event, the sport has grown. I have seen where the number of entries to the Olympiad has grown from maybe just under 100 to well over 150 nations. And this is just maybe for an absolute team. When you throw in that you also have a women's team, it's really a big event. And the absolute and the female event is also coupled with another event. Sometimes they have an open event so that they can have other people who would like to attend, maybe journalists, other people who are contributing, amateurs, they can partake in some of these side events.
What has the rivalry between Barbados and Trinidad and Jamaica been like at these Olympiads?
Oh,
is it a friendly?
It's a friendly rivalry. Of course, the animosity is safe for the chessboard, but yes, it is always a mini Olympiad, and there is always
competition between the English speaking.
Yes, there has been times when I recall at the Elista Olympiad, and this is after I had taken somewhat of a break. I had stopped my Olympiad after the 1988 Olympiad I just mentioned in Thessaloniki. I had basically a 10-year hiatus and came back. I won the 1997 National Championships and thereby qualified once again for the Olympiad in the following year, which was 1998, to be held in Kalmykia. Elista is the capital, Kalmykia is the country, which is part of the Russian Federation. And we were approached by Trinidad, who we were paired against in the third or fourth row. And we were offered 4 draws. And this is of course prior to
the game.
first ball, yes.
Wow.
So we discussed it. The team comprised Bob Wheeler, who was acting as team captain, myself, who was on board 1, Russell Porter on board 2, I didn't get the load, was board all mixed up, but it was Mario Marshall, there was
Mark Smith at that one?
Sorry?
Mark Smith.
No. It was myself on board 1, Russell Porter on board 2, Mario Marshall could have been on 3 or 4. There was Bob Wheeler, who could have been on board 3 or 4. There was Warren Elliott, who could have been first reserve. And there was
possibly Joe.
Wally Nelson.
Oh.
Actually, Wally Nelson could have been on a higher board. As I said, I was board 1, and Porter was board 2. Yes, so those were the 6 players. And yes, we were approached by Trinidad, for a draw. So the team, we discussed it. Obviously, we said the general consensus of the team was that no, we are here to play chess.
Right.
And so we had politely refused. I take it that a number of the Trinidadian players
took that as an insult.
Very pleased with that. I know my very good friend, and I call his name. Well, he was not pleased with that. And so we went to the chessboard, and obviously the Trinidadians were no over blood because they felt as if
they were jilted or spurned.
Yes. Of course, the result was in Jamaica's favor. We just managed to win by the narrow margin of 2.5, 4.5. I was able to defeat Crystal Cave on board 1 on the black side of Australia. Very nice game.
For one of the Olympiads, I remember that we had a Russian, a Ukrainian coach. Was that the case for all the Olympiads that Jamaica had a coach with them?
We didn't have the benefit of a coach until in 2002. We had none other than Alexander Weissman from the Ukraine. He's not a talented player, but he has great experience in training and coaching. He was not able to travel with us to the Olympia, but we did some work with Mr. Weissman prior to traveling.
Did you find that very beneficial, or did you notice a difference?
It was somewhat beneficial. For me personally, it was somewhat beneficial. And I took up duty in preparation for the Olympiad, in going through some of my Olympiad games from the previous Olympiad as well. So, this would have been in Istanbul in Turkey. I think most of the players who took part in the training had good words to say about it as well. And it must have done something, because we could see that our performance in terms of how we approach when we were not represented. Because what I would tell you is, in the late 70s and early 80s, there was this, how do I put it now? There was this self-doubt, this lack of confidence when playing against these players at the Olympics. When you're playing against a guy who's rated 23 or 2400, a lot of our players feel as if they have already lost. And this seemed to have been the general feeling. I think Neil and I kind of approached it differently. And it wasn't until I came back in 98 and 2000 that I think I was able to show my peers, my fellow Jamaican chess players, that these guys are not better than us. You know, I recall after, it could have been in Elliston, Warren Elliott, who had just came into chess. I think he sounded his trumpet in the 1997 Jamaica Open. I didn't play that event, but I did play and win in the 97 Nationals. I recall going by Immaculate. It was Immaculate that was playing, and I think he played Jeff Byfield in the last part of the penultimate round, and it was a very nice game. But going back to the point, he came to me and he said, that he felt, he felt uplifted. He was really encouraged by what he saw. He mentioned something to me. This was at cast, and because the following Olympiad again, I could see the improvement in the rest of the team. There was Jomo, who was playing very, very strong chess. Warren, who has just coming, he was very, very impressive. And there was Wayne Rowe. The other members of the team was Bob Wheeler, and we had.
I remember Porter doing well one year as well.
Yes, but the first round in Istanbul in 2000, we played against our neighbors, the 93 one, and of course they fielded it would have been all GMs. My opponent was Walter and City, a former World Junior champion. Joe was opponent was Lazaro Bruzon, the current World Junior champion.
Wow.
Yes. And Burn and Dwayne also played GMs. And it was a competitive match. Yes, we did lose 4-0 in the end, but at one point, on all 4 boards, it seemed as if 4-0 could have been in Jamaica's favor. It was really a tense struggle. And the guys were demoralized after that result. Yes, Warren and Dwayne were young players. Joe, who played board 2, was sitting right beside me. And I said, hey guys, forget about that. I was pretty much daunted by my own game because I had a really good game going. And it was nothing less better than another victory. And we needed that. And we played in the following round, Panama, and we swapped them for it. So we were once again in high spirits. And then in round 3, we were paired against Norway. Now this would have been before Magnus Carlsen's debut in chess. And of course Norway had a strong team. Their board one was a GM. However, their player Jamaica decided not to field the GM and fielded on the first 2 boards 2 IMs. And 2 autonomic players, of course, because it's a strong Norwegian team.
Of course, the danger in an Olympiad is that these weaker players might be the future Magnus Carlsen and so forth. You never know who you are really playing. It might be some future world champion.
That's right. Let me go back a few years. In the 1984 Olympiad. Yes, I played board 1. We had Neil Fairclough. Yes, I'm going to give you the team composition. There was myself, Neil Fairclough. There was Anthony Stevenson, Jeffrey Byfield, John Powell, and the 6th person was Mark Cameron. Not Frederick Cameron, Mark Cameron, son of Frederick. And I recall where Jeffrey Byfield felt strongly that John Bowen was kind of dodging the strategies. And at the end of the day, Jeffrey took it upon himself not to really complain, but to go ahead and go out and give it his best. He would go out and play it and go with his discipline and give it his best. And we can't complain because it was in that Olympiad that John Bowen scored his silver medal. Yes, he may have, dodged, but at the end of the day, it worked out good for Jamaica because we won a silver medal. And that says well for us. And I also think that he got the FM title
posthumously.
Yes. So.
And it seems to have helped Byfield as well because that experience might have been rough at the time. But
it did, and so he went out and gave his best shot. And Jeffrey was playing some strong chess, and I think he even improved after that Olympiad. I don't think anybody has won more Jamaican Opens than this man, Jeffrey Byfield.
Your training regimen, what is it like now and what was it like back in the day?
Okay.
What do you do to keep your chest game?
I'm going to be upfront and be honest. I was probably the most lazy chess master there was. Look, locally, certainly, yes. I did very little work. I wonder what could have been if I hadn't just put in the extra effort. But I am not saying that I didn't study and do some work, but I certainly should have done a whole lot more. And perhaps this is why the name magician kind of stuck, because I didn't do much opening theory. I didn't develop much of an opening repertoire. However, I stuck to my guns as far as the Sicilian is concerned. And most of my exciting games, I was talking about the Turkey Olympiad, for example. My first 5 rounds were all Sicilians. I was just mentioning the Sicilians that I've been playing over the years. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, I got that opening from Bob Fisher's my 60 member games. And yes, at the 2000 Istanbul Olympiad, my first 5 games in the first 5 rounds were all Sicilians, of course, with me being on the white side of maybe two of them. And my first 5 opponents included none other than 3 GMs, 1 IM, and a 2100 rated player from Panama. And my score was, at the end of round 5, 3.5 points out of 5. I was able to bounce back after that first round loss to Walter and Sylvia. Even though, as I said, the team was a little bit demoralized. But after beating the swap in Panama 4-0, the team was ready for Norway. I was faced again the Poison Pawn, Sicilian version, against the IM from Norway. I remember that game pretty well. I sat an early exchange and proceeded to beat the guy in a nice ending. Jomo also drew with his strong Norwegian opponent. And you could tell that something was happening with the team chemistry. That is with myself, Jomo, Warren, and Dwayne. Yes, we had 2 reserves, but this was a team that was Yes. Round 3, was Norway. Round 4, we played Iran. And yes, Iran has a very strong team. My opponent was Grandmaster Gayami. I'm trying to ensure I pronounce the name correctly. He was rated 2500 at the time. And there were other strong 2300 plus players on the lower boards. So the rest of the team had their work cut out for them as well. And the team, we did well. I don't recall what our score was. I'm thinking that we could have drawn that match, or we may have narrowly lost it. I am not sure. But I was able to hold my opponent to a draw, although admittedly I should have lost because my opponent played a polarized variation. And yes, I'm down a pawn, but then I was able to come back. After losing another pawn, I pressed, and I actually had a winning position. Of course, I didn't have good time management, and the game wrote into a draw.
Hearing you speak about these games, what would you consider as your most memorable game, or your top 10, or tell us some of your most memorable games and why?
Okay. Well, funny enough, another memorable game was the game in the following round, where I played against another Grandmaster from Albania, Emerald Dervishi. He was rated 2485 at the time. And this was a somewhat amusing game to me. I say amusing because I'm on the black side of a Sicilian again. And I played an active position. Something that I had played before, and he saw a game of mine, obviously, because he wasn't prepared, and he kind of diverted. But nonetheless, I played very active, and I believe I got what could have been considered an advantageous position for the black pieces. And he offered me a draw. Of course, as soon as he offered, I refused. And what was amusing to me was Joe Wilson, who was sitting beside me, heard the guy off the draw, and then when he heard me refuse, he kind of gave me a look that I would never forget. He kind of looked at me and then kind of tilted his head upwards and looked, and then, as if was shade doing, But I could tell you that I had some influence with the rest of the team, the performance. And of course, yes, it's 4-1, but I mean, they are seeing that it's
well, they're the fight.
Yeah.
And is it psychology that made you play on, or did you see the chess position and know that?
It's my love for the game. I mean, going back to Elliston, the guys were saying we're here to play chess.
Right.
Axel were playing chess. And I felt as if yes, I had, in my opinion, some advantage. And so the momentum was in my favor, and I was pressing. And what was amusing to me, in addition to what I just mentioned, was that I kind of mishandled the position, where I think I won my opponent's queen for a rook and a minor piece and a pawn. Whereas the strong continuation could have been where I could have won it for 2 rooks. Amazing, but given more material, and because the knight could have played a bigger role in that position. But not to delve into the game itself. In that, a few moves after that, I get off of my opponent a draw. Yes. Now, of course, he kind of, and then quickly refused. Only to come back off me a draw, maybe about 4 or 5 moves down the road.
So it was a threefold repetition.
No, it was still like but yes, it came down to where I had a queen and a pawn to his 2 rooks. It was more steady. But I could tell that the team you know, after that performance, I mentioned the first 5 rounds because my performance kind of fell off after that. Although I could mention my last opponent was what was it? The fellow who scored 9 from 9 in an excellent bid. Robert
from Africa, Gaza or
Gaza. Yes.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal
I played in the
performance.
last round in that Olympiad and we drew. And that was a nice game, a long game. I won upon, it was a Sicilian as well, I think. I was a black side. I won one of Gaza's pawn, and I was pressing and I couldn't progress. And so we have to do a draw. So I have the distinction of drawing the Gaza before his kind of wrapping up the following and Olympic.
As you mentioned that streak by Gaza, have you ever found, are you a streaky player, or do you find that you have spells of many victories and then followed by many losses? Or?
I have had that particularly in local circles. National championships tends to be the longer events, right? Olympics are national championships because nationals is 12 rounds typically. Olympics 14 rounds, and back in the day it has been reduced down to I think 11 or 12, whatever it is now. So yes, you would tend to see that I would have some winning streaks. Amazingly, I've won some nationals with scores like in the 1986 national championships, I finished with 10 from 11. Yes, 10 from 11.
Tell us how many national championships have you won?
I have won a total of 7. I think Warren has just passed that on his last victory. I think Warren has now 8. I have the distinction of having won the nationals over 3 decades. My first title coming from 1984, and my last coming in 2003.
Wow.
Yes. I have played and beat them all and lost some along the way, of course.
So you're in a unique position then to compare the generations of chess players.
I do, and I have been asked numerous times by players that come and go. The latest being, for example, young Shreyas Smith, who constantly asks, who would be like top 5, who's in my top 10, that sort of. No, I really don't like comparisons. I would prefer to just list a number of great players, because I just mentioned that I didn't have the privilege of meeting Thomas Figueroa. Of course, we could look at his games and say, well, this was a strong player. And who's to say if Thomas Figueroa was still around today, he could have very well have been Jamaica's first IM or Jamaica's first GM. Sheldon Wong was very strong back in his heyday as well. I'm not sure if it is that he had stopped playing. We all know he had migrated, but who's to say? Yes. Gone too soon. Thomas Figueroa gone too soon. Yes, he was taken away from us in 1975, I believe. But in the same year, I think we lost Paul Perez, who I was told was Thomas Figueroa's chess idol. But yes, chess was, I wasn't around, but chess was very much active, and not just locally, but in the, what they used to call the CONCACAF region. And Jamaica usually took part in events which included our fellow Caribbean neighbors, Cuba, along with Trinidad, Guyana, Barbados, Antigua and Jamaica always seemed to finish second only to Cuba. We were performing Barbados, Trinidad, Guyana, all those other nations. So Thomas Figaro gone through soon. We had a tournament in his honor, the Thomas Figaro Memorial. And I remember just when I came home to chess in 1981, yes, they were the junior events, and I had already started my name in the junior class. But when it came to the open events, this was where you needed to prove something. And in 1981, the big names at the time would have been none other than Robert Wheeler. He was a player to beat. Dr. Harvard Chan was still around. He was also another player to beat. And then there was the indomitable Frederick Cameron, there was John Bowen, and they were up and coming masters because they were not yet NMs at the time in Orrington, for example. Michael Edrick, the Omega Man, Humphrey Gable. Lots of players, lots of strong players. Patrick Iban, who I think didn't quite get his any title as yet, but I think he was being nominated for it at the time. And 1981 was a year for me. I just started playing my first tournament, and I remember I played in the Thomas Figaro Memorial tournament, and I beat a number of players, including Patrick Iban, losing only to the eventual winner, Orrington in the last round. But I tied for first. I think Orrington would have beat me in a tiebreak. I came back I also beat Bob Wheeler in that event, who was the highest rated player at the time, rated 2295, just below 2300. In a Sicilian, I had the white pieces. So I was coming into chess, and I was now a name to be reckoned with.
Alright, Shane, we're getting some online questions, and somebody was asking basically how long would it take for them to what's the average time to become a national master, assuming you play every tournament and have maybe 4 out of 6 score for each tournament. How long would it take them to become a national master?
Okay. It is of course up to the individual. If you are putting in the work and you are playing, because just studying and studying, practicing is not enough. It is important to play. Once you are playing and you are learning from your games, you will improve and you will certainly get NM and above.
Do you record all of the games you play, or do you go over even your blitz games and stuff like that?
I have recorded a few special games. I was not doing that as a junior player, and I am regretting that now. I would have loved to have seen some of the battles that I had in Orrington, for example. I had some really great games against John Bowen. There's a few that I can remember, and I recall a few years back trying to see if I could get some of those score sheets, because Enos Grant would have had some of those at his home. They were, we were in a Stone Age still, because it was all just documented on the score sheets and kept in a big envelope. Big brown envelopes were all over Enos' land, and we had score sheets all over the place.
You have been an active member on the JCF committees over the years. I believe you helped with ratings, for instance. What was that like?
Well, I took over as the ratings officer in 1994. This would have been about the time when John Bowen, who was performing the function, had, I would just say, given up on Jamaica, meaning that he was planning on migrating. And so I took it up and I basically performed as the ratings officer for the next 16 years. So I was doing the ratings up until 2010, and I was prepared now to hand that over. And of course, I had Darren Wisdom, I think there was Alan Wilson, who I took in and was showing them how the program works. But we also assisted in trying to get them to do the ratings, because Bob Wheeler was also engaged in a lot of administrative activities. It would have been fair for him to be taking up that mantle as well. So it did impede my chess. Yes, instead of being rated, I could have been studying, but as I mentioned earlier, I was very lazy.
Have you thought of coaching, for instance? Have you ever done coaching or thought of doing it in the future?
Okay. I had recent conversations with Terence Linder about coaching, because not many people recall this or even know, because this was a problem before their time. I had the privilege of going to Sukhumi in Russia in 1988, and this was not to attend and play a tournament. This was in fact to attend a coaching session, and this was not a coaching session to coach me as a player, but it was a coaching session to coach you to coach.
Wow.
And it was an eye-opener for me, because I thought it was really to coach me to improve my chess, but no, it wasn't that. It was to give you some various tips to assist you in coaching. And it was very interesting. I met some more masters there. I mentioned masters that I met at my first Olympiad. I met Edward Blufeld, who was more than happy to go through his famous King's Indian game against Yuri Balashov. I think you all looked at that game, where he sacked everything. He was proud of that game, very proud, and he would never do a session without showing you that game, Edward Blufeld. And he went through that game with us. There was Evgeny Sveshnikov,
Wow.
who also did a session with us. He also gave a simul as well. There was Grandmaster Panchenko, who I played a simul. I beat him.
So what were the sessions like? What would they do? They'd show you an end-game position, or would they play a game with you, or what was the format?
Alright guys, this is 30 years back. But we had sessions where they would, Edward Blufeld, for example, would be going through his game. But in most records going through his game, he is doing it in a way, and he's letting you know this as well, that you have to keep your audience interested. You have to keep your audience amused. You have to capture your audience. And so it is also part of his personality, because he's a very joyful partner. And of course the game itself is very exciting. And he's asking you, well, what is the move? And then he may stop at a point, and then he will say to you, well, this is what you may ask of your students, right? That this would be a very interesting position, because there are typically a few best moves here, and so there's not just one good move. And this is the kind of thing that he would do. Yuri Averbach was also there as well. Averbach, a lot of the younger generation here may not even know this name, but Yuri Averbach was
essential endings and stuff like
I was
that.
about to mention that. He was probably only second to Capablanca back then as an endgame specialist. You will have that. And he went through some openings and he went through some endgames with us.
Well, that's quite a resume, Shane, to have that on your list that you were running Soviet training.
Students must know the alphabet, must have a line against the King's India. That is the UAL.
We're getting a question from our online audience in the chat room. They're asking, who do you predict will win this year's national championships of Jamaica?
Oh boy, oh boy. I really should be seen because I don't want to influence, it may influence the outcome, but I'm going to be bold as I am always, even when I sit on the chessboard and otherwise. But I'm not going to call one name. I'm going to also play a little safe. Obviously, David Davey is a favorite at this point because he is sitting on top of the field. But it is not just because of the current standings. I see David Davey, and I'm going to still say this. Young Trestley, despite losing his last 2 games, still has an excellent chance of winning this nationals. I'm saying that because David Davey and what I have seen what I've seen before and what I am currently seeing from Trestley can easily win this national championships. I'm a little surprised by Malaku's current performance, but I will admit that I didn't see him outperforming Davey or Shreds.
What about the performance of Rowe? Was that a surprise?
Okay, before I comment on Rowe, I would like to just throw in my enlightenment. I am very much pleased by what I'm seeing by a lot of the younger players. Yes, I mentioned Shreds already. Yes, Shreds just came out of the junior ranks, but we also have in the field a number of junior players. And I'm going to mention from the top Raheem Graves. I have not seen too much of his games, but obviously he is performing. I was able to see maybe 2 or 3 games of Joshua Christie, who is also in the runnings. Although I don't see him toppling and Davey, and I know Shreds is going to bounce back.
He seems very focused.
And Joshua has all the attributes to be a national champion. It may not happen in 2018, but and if I'm telling you, when I say the distant future, I'm talking about 2019. 2019 could be the year for Joshua, and we are still in February, so yes, it's nationals, but Joshua can step up. And the good thing is this, is that they will
learn a lot from this.
They will learn a lot from and lift up each other's performance because of the rivalry within that ranks. There is young Akeem
Brown.
Right? And there is Raheem, there's Joshua, Malik, who is just, I think he's no longer a junior.
Merit is somebody to watch as well.
Right, but
he has a lot of merit.
Yes. So it's encouraging. You were asking me about Dwayne Rowe's performance. Dwayne had an excellent win in round 3 over Shreds. I think surprising to everybody. I would say, including to myself, because I know Shreds have been playing very strong chess as of late. But I would tell you that Dwayne Rowe can lift his game. Certainly he's not going to win the nationals. Certainly he won't finish in the top 4 or 5. But he will certainly
play the role of a spoiler.
He will play the role of a spoiler, and he will finish way above his current standing. But I don't see Dwayne finishing in the top 4 or 5.
What will the future hold for Shane Matthews in terms of chess?
I would like to once again play in this year's sub-zone. I was playing around with the idea of trying for nationals that's going on here now, but I lack motivation. I lack motivation, and I have not put in the work that I said that I would have to put in before I play. But I would like to change my FM status to IM and join Olympics because I certainly believe Jamaica should be at that level. If you look at Venezuela, I was going to mention Barbados, but let me mention Venezuela because a lot of players could see what was happening in Venezuela. Before, let's call it the Itigali, Eduardo Iturizada, the Itigali. Before he became GM, Venezuela had a large pool of international masters. And this is how you're going to find the chess within a nation.
Expand.
You're going to have a base of players. Then you're going to have to step to the next level where you're going to have a base of national masters. Then you're going to have another base of FIDE masters, another base of international masters. And it's like stepping stones. With one iron, it's hardly likely that you're going to have a GM within the next 7 years. Jamaica will not have a GM in another 7 years. I have seen that, you can record that, we are now 2018, 2025, Jamaica will not have a GM.
No, the point, as you say, if you have that base, the base needs to be actively playing.
Yes. What we can achieve and what we should be striving for at this point is we are now currently building a base of FMs. Unfortunately, some of us have become inactive, some have migrated, and so we still need that base. Because what we need is the next level where we can then build a base of IMs, because we really need to have maybe 3 or 4 IMs at this stage. This is where Barbados is at now. This is where Venezuela was then. Venezuela had the base of players, then they stepped up to IMs, now they have a AGM. They have AGM. They had a large pool of IMs 10 years ago. The 80 guy came about a few years ago. So we need to now look and develop our young players, and when we see us turning out IMs, and we can be turning out more IMs, because Joe has his IM, we can get more IMs to join Mr. Peterson. And once we have another 3 or 4 international masters along with Joe, that will be the point in time when we can take it to the next level and we will produce a homegrown grandmaster. I was mentioning how we had learned chess. And it was my eldest brother who had learned the game from Michael Ramsey. Michael Ramsey, of course, used to assist the Federation in administrative roles. And of course, he used to play as well. And he's the father of Zachary Ramsey, once promising junior, who still plays every now and again, and here at the rest of as well. So he learned the game and came back and showed the rest of us how to play, and that is how we learned the game. And of course, my father loved the game immediately and bought a book from the Teach Yourself series. And I took this book and I devoured the book. The author's name is Gerald Abrahams, Teach Yourself Chess. And it had games, positions, from all of the old masters.
Philidor's legacy and stuff like
Yes.
that.
So we learned how to do a smaller mate. We learned some of the basic book of block endings. So it was a sort of introductory book, but it was what I had. It was all I had before I did my first junior event. And I still have that book, and I will probably take up that book in my preparation for sub-zones. Because there is always something that you may not have picked up before that you could come back and review and get by it. So yes, that was a very good book. In addition to those books I had mentioned, I had some books that I won from prizes. There was Chess Life, and of course one of the Bible at the time was the Chess Informant. And whenever we went to the Olympiads, we would always rush to buy a Chess Informant. This was of course before we started having things done, done software, and
Do you find yourself using the computer a lot nowadays?
Nowadays, yes. Back then, no. And I found myself, I would say, playing. I think I've lost some of my tactile ability when I started using computers. It may sound strange, but the fact is this. A lot of players, when doing analysis, or by making the computer doing the analysis for them. And I would suggest to them that yes, you may have the computer screen on with the chessboard, but it is too easy because it's right at your fingertips to just click and see a solution. Of course, you will require some kind of discipline, but I could tell you the old days where we had to sit over a chessboard with a book and you're going through a game and you have the analysis, and then you even try to look and analyze the moving pieces. You're looking at the chessboard. That was when I used to, I was sharp those days. Yeah. Of course, I was a whole lot younger then, but that was the time when, yes.
Very interesting.
Oh yes.
Tell us a little bit about your career as an engineer.
Okay. Yes, life outside of chess. I had studied engineering. I attended class, now UTech. I found myself at St. Augustine, Uni St. Augustine. And I was working with UTech for a while, then I left there, joined the Carnegie Company, which I worked with for well over 20 years. And it was good for me because whenever I had to travel for chess, they would accommodate by giving me time off. This was of course very good, a benefit of working with a large firm. When you work with a much smaller firm or for yourself, it can be a problem because you are
indispensable.
not as easily missed, yes. So I am grateful to the Carnegie Company for having accommodated me on all those times those occasions when I had to go and play. I also had found time to have a family. Yes, I'm now divorced. I have 2 children, daughter and son. My daughter just graduated from uni, and so she's working now. So one down, one to go. My son, they both play chess. Got a question maybe asked. They both play chess. However, not much thinking behind the moves, and never really showed the interest. And of course, as no parents, we don't force our children to do what they don't really look for. My son is far more interested in football, and he almost represented Jamaica in swimming. Water polo in fact. But he he's interested in football. Football is the thing for him. My daughter's interest lies in badminton.
I'd like to say that over the years it has been a pleasure watching you play. Your games always have that magic. And I've found it to be a very sportsman-like person. Even in the Little Red Scorpion events, quite often players will be arguing and you're calmly there just...
Well, I try not to get into any debates or let's say heated discussions. And try to let my pieces do the talking for me. But yes, in terms of the excitement, playing aesthetic, having an aesthetic game, that is very appealing to an audience, comes from, I guess, the open repertoire, because if you compare a Sicilian versus a French, for example, then obviously there will be a lot more fireworks in a Sicilian. Of course, there could be some French things that can have some fireworks. But typically, yes. And I guess it matches my personality as well. You want life, you want to breathe, you want something happening.
So chess for you is what? If you were to finish that sentence, what would you say?
Chess is, I don't want to say life, that is too cliche. But chess has been good to me, and chess is pleasure. Let me put it this way, and I read it somewhere, I don't recall who had said it, could have been Aaron Nimzovich. He said, chess, like love, has the pleasure of making man, makes man happy. Right? It's the same as music. And there's countless variations in music. So it is in chess. The probability of so many different moves in the first 10 moves, how many zeros behind that number. But I recall a local player even comparing, I'm not sure of the age of my audience, but I'm going to keep it PG, compared it to sex. And, he said sometimes he found winning a chess game even more exciting than sex.
Well, the great Bent Larson said chess is like a beautiful mistress.
There you go.
And I guess it also shows you the disappointments and so that come with chess as well.
But there is ecstasy in executing not just a good move, not just a goal from the blue, but a move that is so Let me ask me about some games. I had mentioned some games, the game I played against the GM from Albania. I have this game that I also like very much. The game I played against Equitable Brown in the 2002 Nationals, where I found a rook H8 check sacrifice. I love that game because, yes, you can get a position in a book and see and analyze, told that white to play and win and find RH8 check. But what makes it special is that you have to have seen that possibility before. You have to be able to create that position. And sometimes the reader may not have the benefit of knowing what took place leading up to that position.
Right, plus you have an opponent who is actively trying to prevent your creativity.
Precisely. Because you may see that position and see rook H8 check. But in that game, I also offered a piece. There was also a sacrifice. In other words, it would be what people also consider a diagram position. If you were to put it in a book, you would put a diagram on that, and then you would put a diagram RHA check, if you know what I mean. So there are a number of games that were appealing to me. There was also this game that I recall, it was played against, not a Russian player, a player from an African nation in the 1998 Ellis Olympiad. It was a King's Lynn event, and it was amusing because I had a position where I had put my queen on pre and left it on pre for maybe 3 straight moves. And what was comical was the reaction I observed from my opponent's teammates. They seemed to take pleasure in the beating he was getting, and they started taking pictures of the position. It was quite amusing to see how they reacted. Of course, my opponent took it in great spirits, and that was a very remarkable game. It was also outstanding in 1987 in the very first round of that year's national championships. I had won nationals the previous year, and I was paired with Neil Fairclough in the first round. For those of you who may not know, Neil Fairclough was a strong youth player in the mid to late 1970s. He had migrated to study and came back in the mid 80s. And he and I kind of took over from Bob Wheeler and Harold Chan. I was paired against Neil in the first round of the 98 Nationals. And that was a remarkable game as well. I had white pieces, and Neil went for a pawn, and I totally ignored it and just went for a king-side assault, and got a position where I sat the knight at f6, and it was just over for Neil. And after winning that first round game, in the 11 round nationals, it was John Bowen that came up to me and shook my hand and says, "Congrats, national champ." Because it seemed as if, well, that was the game for the nationals. He was the only one who could come me over. Of course, I did go on to win the nationals as well. So that was also a remarkable game. There were other games I could mention as well. Oh yes.
Well, Shane, thank you very much. I think that was a great interview. You gave us a touch of your personal life, your chess career, memorable games, influences. It was quite comprehensive, and thank you once again.
Thank you. All right. Yeah,